Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is G and Virgo. I'm doing your video. We're going to talk about your June 2023. And yeah, we got Taffy in the room. She just jumped down after her full body massage. And she started eating my hair, and I'm like, that's mine. She didn't like that because I moved my hands from her. So we'll see how long we can do this with her down there and me up here, and pray to God that we all just get along. Can't we just get along, Taffy? All right, so enough fun and games to the side here. Let's talk about your June. And I'm going to talk a little bit about Jupiter. I know. This is your reading, your June reading with G, and we're going to talk about Jupiter. There's a lot of J going on here. Allastrology. So Jupiter, abundance. Abundance of what? Whatever sign it's in. Jupiter entered Taurus mid-May, so you might have noticed a change. Do you know where your Taurus energy is in your chart, Virgo? Now, before I go any further, you may be a Virgo birthday watching this video. So, if you are a Virgo birthday, keep watching. But I want to add that knowing what your rising sign is will match you up with the perfect for you video. Okay? So if you're going to keep watching this, which I would encourage you to do, because this means you're watching for your sun sign, which is your birthday. And so it kind of talks about how you are going to express and radiate, how you will shine. And you're an earth sign. Yeah, see what I did there? You're an earth sign. And if Jupiter goes into Taurus in May, well, Taurus is an earth sign. So this means that you're going to have Jupiter at some point trining your sun, which is very beneficial for Virgo energy. So comment to me. Comment to me and maybe just at least tell me when your birthday is. And then I will at least know, and I would need your year. I would at least then know what degree your sun is at. Right. So Virgos, they look smart. They dress smart. They usually are smart. They like details. They're going all after the details. They're good workers. They're diligent. They can connect the dots to create the picture. They're all about the puzzle pieces and putting them together so they get the full picture, the image. That is Virgo. It's striving for perfection, cleaning, cleanliness, hygiene, domestic side of life, things that just aren't super glamorous. You know, we talk about like cooking and cleaning and laundry and ironing, you know, when you got to go shopping and you just got it like the to-do lists or the honey-do lists. That's a Virgo thing. That's a Virgo thing. Lists and projects and calendars. That's all Virgo stuff. So for those of you who've got that on your ascendant, well, you know how you look. We kind of already talked about that in other videos. Virgos are smart, so they got the umbrella. They got the tools, right? They're geared up. They think. And they're like, okay, for this project, I'm going to need this. That's Virgos, right? They're going to be smart. They're going to be the ones checking the weather before they walk out the door because they need to know if they're dressed properly. Maybe they got to change their shoes, right? Maybe they do need that umbrella. Maybe we need galoshes or boots or whatever the hell people wear. Maybe we need a snowmobile. I don't know. Whatever it is, we got a plan. And that's a Virgo, a planner, right? Remember they used to have those, and maybe they still do. What was it called? It was like I don't know if it was a daily planner, a monthly planner. You know, they used to carry them around in like their little, it was almost like a wallet, right? And it had like this little, and it's got like the whole year in it. And for all those business people, and they're like, oh yeah, I've got you scheduled here and here. Cause this was before phones. This was before we had our freaking smartphones, which our whole life we can hold into that phone. And this is Mercury, by the way. which is a ruler of Virgo, which is why Virgos can be so smart. Mercury's like details and calendars and learning information. They can handle all of that stuff. Okay. So finding out where your sun is and seeing when is Jupiter trining your sun, right? Or go one step further, go one step better for you, which gives you even more information. Get your full birth digits to me, comment below, and then we get your chart to you. It's that simple. I help you out in any way that I can. All right. Now, with this video, Jupiter in Taurus, this is for the next 14 months of your life. Yeah, that's Taffy. She is back there digging in a box. It sounds like she's going to make her place. She's trying to niche out a little place she can sleep. She loves jumping into boxes, but I will say this. Do you want to see her? Watch. It's a Virgo video. It's a Virgo video. We can totally do this. She's trying to find a place to sleep, but there's a box in there. She does this every damn night. What are you doing? You have a bed right there. You have a big box that you can sleep in under that box that's specifically for kitty cats. You have your normal spot over there under the window. You've got boxes everywhere. She's got little kitty cat spots all over the place. Normally it's right here and I'm massaging. Anyway, she'll probably come back up. What were we talking about? Virgo, domestic pets, cats and dogs, or whatever the hell you got in your home. Whatever's domesticated, okay? Whatever you got around you. So definitely can be birds too, because Mercury rules this. And Mercury is flight. Mercury is something with wings. Mercury is birds, yeah. So Jupiter in Taurus, Earth. Jupiter adds to things. Being in Taurus is going to be my love, my values. This can be your money, your income, how I receive. This can be what do you value? Because you have Taurus in your 9th house, typically, right? If that doesn't match, you let me know, because then we need to get you the right chart. Or at least the right video. Just comment now and we'll figure that out. But Taurus in the 9th house, this is learning. And Jupiter is very strong in the 9th house. So you're going to have you're going to have Jupiter in Taurus in your 9th house. Spirituality, religion. Do you talk to God? Do you talk to God? This is the placement, 9th house. You get information, prophets, 9th house, prophetic, 9th house. Can be the sage too. I just know things about the future, 9th house, right? Strong Virgo qualities. This is also traveling. Foreigners, foreign lands, foreign countries, foreign languages. I just had a comment while I was in between all these videos that I'm recording, and they asked, somebody was making a mention about, foreigners and foreign lands and foreign countries. Well, there's an abundance of that energy. There's an abundance of it because Taurus values that 9th house. And it's kind of like it's fixed, but it's what it loves. It's what it loves. So if you've got Taurus in that 9th, it's like the desire to travel and immerse yourself in other cultures. Now, some people experience this energy not just by immersing themselves in other cultures, because I know a Virgo who's got the same placement, but for him, it's more like music, Jupiter, because Jupiter is the ancient ruler of Pisces. So sound, that's a big one, sound. Movies, oh my God, movies. This person loves movies and theater and performances. Holy crap. This person also is into like actors and actresses and anybody that's literally performing, like really into all that. And this person loves to travel, literally to just go on vacation and travel. So it's not so much about like, I need to move to the other side of the world. It's more like, I want to go and explore the other side of the world for this person. Because a lot of those details in the chart change the details of how this energy expresses for you and what is of value to you. Okay. So the ninth house, having Jupiter there, extended education also, other than spirituality and religion, but extended education, taking extended education, going to college, right? This is also being that preacher. So Taurus in that ninth can be a little, think of Venus, very sweet, because it's ninth house of religion and spirituality, can be the teacher and the preacher. There's something about the words that are going to be probably very sweet, almost syrupy at times. There can be a tendency to be very syrupy with some people, right? So we think of that ninth house and we think of freedom. We think of the judicial system. We think about things that we are very, there's this desire and value factor where we feel quite passionate about, even because it's in the ninth. And the ninth is freedoms, freedom of my body, freedom of my beliefs, freedom of religion, freedom of speech. We think about that and we're just like, what the hell? And we think about how it's supposed to work in the judicial system. Things should be fair. Like there's rules, but you're telling me the rules only apply to certain people. They don't apply to everybody. And so we can get really worked up about that and be really, really ready to put up your dukes, right? Ready to fight over stuff like that. So you have Jupiter here until halfway, more than halfway through of 2024. Okay. So what this means is you may be traveling more. You could be. You could also be adding on learning. Think of all those ninth house keywords I just said. Let me read my list and see if there's anything that, because I'm not, judgments and exaggerations. There's one. It came in through another video. Judgments and exaggerations. Remember though, Jupiter is usually very beneficial. It's considered the person who is generous and brings gifts. So you may be gifted because you're getting Jupiter in Taurus energy, how I receive the desirable things. But there's something here that is more, it's philosophical even. It sees into things and it understands the systems, the greater systems, and it connects those larger dots that create the whole. It's like connecting, exploring the earth, but possibly going off the planet, right? Possibly going up in a starship even at times. Jupiter, Sagittarius wants to explore. It is the seeker. It is the seeker. Very wise energy as well, wisdom and wise. But because it's got Taurus there, for some people, Taurus can be slow at first, but it gets it later on. Okay. And there's no embarrassment or shame in any of that. It's just Taurus energy. It's extremely cautious energy. Okay. It's extremely cautious. This is also publishing. I want to say that this is publishing. So this may be people who are, you could be writing a book. And so that could be an audiobook, that can be doing something on YouTube, being a vlogger, that could be, however you want to publish something, podcasting, publishing. Because normally the Sagittarius energy, because it's the ninth house and because Jupiter's here, we feel as though we have wisdom that others can benefit from and we want to share it. And you'll often hear that. I just want to share this with you. I just want to share this. And it's like, sometimes Taurus can be long-winded and it might be slow to comprehend that it's long-winded. Yeah. Some of you have other things that create this beautiful, like, wham, bam, thank you, man, get to the point. And yeah. And then others, it's like, it's really drawn out possibly at times. And I can raise my hand and be the first one to say, when I start talking about something that I feel strongly about, that I'm passionate about, that I'm driven and excited about, you got to pay me to shut up. Right? You know what I'm talking about. But let's remember the ninth house is beliefs. I don't know if I said beliefs, and I should have. If I didn't, beliefs is a big one with the ninth house. So if Jupiter's coming in, remember, it's a judge. It's judgments. It's unconscious judgments. All right. So likely something changing in your belief system. It's very confident energy. So when Jupiter goes into Taurus, it like stabilizes things because it's grounded and it's earth. So now let's move to the beginning of the month. June 3rd, we have a full moon in Sagittarius. Right. You see where I'm going with this, right? This is big because we know Jupiter's in Taurus right now for the next 14 months for us. So if we have a full moon in Sag, which Jupiter rules, we're releasing, we're letting go. We are ending and closing out something. I'm sorry. And Virgo, yeah, I just want to double check. I got to do that. Your fourth house, home, family, feeling, and emotions, possibly a physical home, but it's just a full moon. It's just a full moon. Don't get all worked up. Like if it's a full moon and you got something that matches it, it's only if big, if it's right on your IC, right? And so this is a full moon at 13 degrees and 17 minutes. We're doing a 2-degree orb. So 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 degrees. And yeah, who knows? Maybe it just has something to do with mom and family. It's Sagittarius energy there. So for many, it's like, I want to travel and foreign lands, foreign languages. So some people can pick up easily on foreign languages. Some people study those foreign languages because then it makes them feel like they're immersing themselves in that culture. And it's emotionally satisfying. It is emotionally satisfying. It gives you it's like it secures your emotions. It emotionally like it's like it satisfies your emotional need to be with foreigners and foreign lands and foreign languages, right? To be somewhere other than where you are. So this can be difficult. A lot of people with this placement travel. And I don't mean travel as in like they travel for their job. I mean like they live. They could be like your boondockers. They don't literally have a home base. They are in their car or their van or their truck, right? And they are boondocking because it's the ultimate way of experiencing freedom. You're free. You're free. You can roam, you can pack up and change locations the next day. And every location, even though it may not be far away, like airplane far away, it doesn't matter. It's an adventure. It's a new experience. It's immersing yourself fully and completely into where you are at the moment. And that is Sagittarius energy in your fourth house. It will emotionally satisfy that need for you. And it gives you emotional security when you do that. And so it's an acceptance of other religions, of other spiritualities, right? It's an acceptance of other beliefs and philosophies on life even. You're open to it because you believe in that freedom of it, the freedom of that. So if you're free to believe what you want to believe, your own religion or whatever, or no religion, right? Whatever that is for you, you value that so greatly. It's such a strong thing for you that you will even allow others to have that because you see the value in it. It's in your fourth house. It resonates with you deeply, and there's something there that is nurturing. For many, your mother, or whoever you called your mother, a female that was close to you, who's kind of like maybe the authority figure in the family, because we're talking Jupiter in this fourth house, right? Masculine energy. Jupiter's typically a male or masculine or somebody who's like, smart and in charge and like, yeah, somebody who's a teacher in some way, a guide in some way. I don't want to say a boss, but someone you would look up to. So we think of like pastors and preachers and reverends, people of the cloth, where we're like, we got an issue. Who do I go to talk to about it? I don't need a psychiatrist. I just need to sort this out. I just need someone to bounce these things off of, And so many times it's that fourth house with Sagittarius there for you. So having conversations with somebody who you feel may be wiser than you would be emotionally satisfying. So maybe your mother was very wise, or whoever that person was that you felt like was a mom for you. This full moon means there's a release in some or all of the things I've just discussed. And it can be in a very small scale or a large scale. Okay. So it might be a belief about traveling, a belief about foreigners, a belief about languages, a belief about freedoms. There could be a release. It could be a release and a belief about your unconscious judgments, even. But remember, Jupiter is in your ninth house of beliefs in Taurus. So, whatever Jupiter's doing for this full moon, it is going to be based on, because it's going to be a change for you, because Jupiter entered Taurus halfway through May. And so there is definitely something releasing something about home and family and nurturing and all that good stuff I talked about, that you're like, it's time to put that to the side. I'm done. So now we move to the third week of the month. It's around the 17th and the 18th of June. All right, around the 17th and 18th, because it's a new moon. Depends on where you're located in the world. And for me, the new moon occurs at 11:37 p.m. Central Daylight Time Zone, because that's where I'm at. So adjust for where you live in the world. Okay. And I say this with the new moons because this is a time where we manifest, which means we're setting intentions. And you set your intentions typically 8 hours before the time of the new moon. It's that magic time, the 8 hours before the time of the new moon. Got it? So this is in Gemini, a new moon in Gemini, all about our thoughts. Interesting, right? All about our thoughts, the way we talk and communicate and learn. Are we going to be learning something new? Yes. Yes. And it might simply be something like a new way of thinking. It could be a new way of thinking. Now, let's see where this happens. This new moon occurs for you in your 10th house. This means a new thought about an ambition, a goal, possibly a career, a vocation. Holy smokes, you have a new moon in your 10th house. Wow, this is kind of powerful because Mercury rules this new moon. Mercury rules this new moon. Well, when you have an intention, when you're setting intentions or you want to manifest something, it all begins with your thought. And Mercury rules this new moon. This means this is quite a lot of power to it. You follow? You see how that works? There's a lot of power in this. The ability to actually manifest what you want, how to achieve your long-term goal, how to achieve your long-term ambition, right? You have Gemini there. So it's like talking and speaking. Maybe sales is involved. Maybe it's simply just to have a white collar job. Like if you don't have a white collar job, because that's Gemini typically. Motivational speaking. Maybe it's social media, doing something on social media. Maybe a job working on, digital platforms. Maybe it's e-commerce. Somebody mentioned that. And I'm like, yes, Gemini, Mercury. It is e-commerce, and it's for the long haul. 10th house is long term. That's why we call it a career. It's something where we're like, I'm working towards that, but I want it. It's not like a fly by night thing. It's not a side gig. This is my long term. The funny thing is when you're thinking about vocation and 10th house, it is that thing you do that you just kind of do, whether you get paid to do it or not. You may have great ideas, but you may be discouraged. You may not only be discouraged, but get discouraged because the 10th house for all of us, whatever planet, whatever sign we got in that 10th house, the 10th house purposely delays it. It says, no, I know I'm going to give you a taste of this, but I'm not going to give it to you. You have to work at it over time. The 10th house demands our time. It asks for our most precious asset. So if you're discouraged because you're like, damn, I'm not good at speaking, or damn, I don't like social media, right? Or I don't like doing any of this. Like it freaks me out. Like the online and all the harm it's done to the youngsters. And like I have a lot of conversations about that in the last few months. And having Gemini at the 10th house says you have the abilities, but you're being tested along the way. But every test, every challenge is just a rung on that ladder. And you're always going to be challenged going up that ladder. And it's in the way you think and talk and communicate. Coworker energy, sibling energy, next door neighbor energy. And yes, social media, these are our online neighbors. So we think of the social platforms, emails, phone calls, snail mails. Okay. There's something there that you will be an authority of one day. And depending upon what year you were born, maybe you are already an authority. Maybe you've put in your time and you are like, this is what G was talking about. Maybe you've already accomplished it, but it's not a fast thing. So do not get discouraged. It's supposed to be this way. It's supposed to be you have to put in your time. Okay. So don't get discouraged. This new moon can help you focus on that. And if you look for your planet Mercury, your natal Mercury, that will give you the details as to what you should pinpoint your intentions on, because your natal Mercury fills this up in this house. Your natal Mercury and the transiting Mercury. Well, we already know. We already know Mercury just got out of Taurus. Actually, yeah. Let me I just wrote all this down. We're already at the 17th. So yeah, Mercury has already changed signs. Mercury is now out of Taurus and it's in the sign of Gemini. Mercury's in Gemini. So this makes this new moon unbelievably potent because you've got the sun and the moon in Gemini and Mercury. Right. The sun and the moon in Gemini and Mercury. Let me now I'm like, yeah, here it is. I have it up. I just didn't, I had taffy and I started talking and I'm like, okay, I already know what I'm doing. I'm good. All right. So we have Mercury. Oh, wait, I'm on the wrong month. Let me jump ahead. I'm almost there. 1 second. Virgo, I know you'll appreciate this. So I'm going to, yeah. Yeah. Mercury's at 13 degrees. Ooh, ooh. Is that crazy? Is that crazy? This Mercury is in an exact opposition to where the full moon was. The full moon was at 13 degrees and 17 minutes. So the mutual receptivity, what you released and let go, there's Mercury is the exact opposition. No joke. That is crazy. Wow. I did not realize that. Okay. Discovery process. You're discovering it and hearing about it as I'm discovering it. Very powerful. And this is why those first 3 new moons in the lunar year are always the most potent, because you normally have Venus and Taurus and you're making a, think about that, right? You usually have the planets in the houses, in the signs that they rule. And so it's usually very extra potent for that reason, other than the sun being there and the moon, right? So yeah, here's Mercury at 13 degrees. So on the new moon, if you got your chart, take a look at the transiting Gemini energy, Mercury at 13 degrees, and that will help you pinpoint even more specifically where this will be for you. Obviously, you already know Gemini's in your 10th house. I just told you that. But some of you might have another planet there. You might even have a house cusp line. For some of you, your 10th house might begin at 13 degrees of Gemini. I do not use a whole house system. I use a tropical Placidus system to answer your question. How can I do a reading when I'm using a tropical Placidus? Because this is a general reading, which is why I ask you to please have your chart and look at your chart. You follow? It's a general reading. Okay. That way we can cover everybody without excluding anybody by saying, this is the rising sign reading for such and such. But get your chart. Take a look at those degrees. You need help. I am here for you. I am here to help you figure that out in any way that I can. All right. So thank you very much, Virgo. And I will see you in the next video. Taffy says, thank you. Bye-bye. Below the video, I'll have all the degrees for those of you who like to pay attention to the degrees in your chart. Again, if you don't know and you want to know, just comment below.